What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. This is for entertainment purposes only. I didn't even realize the market was open. I thought the market was closed today, but I just happened to look, and son of a gun, it's open. So last week, Aussie USD, NZD USD, these were the ones that I was watching. Look at this drop. Look at that. So this correction ended up holding, and we got a nice drop. Same with Aussie USD. I wasn't sure. You know, I thought there was two possible scenarios. Either this running flat holds, and this is a running flat for another drop, or this was another pattern just not realized yet, like an expansion. Maybe price kind of expanded out, came up into this sell zone again before another drop, which was, you know, possible, but it didn't happen. So this thing held and took off. Especially NZD, man. That thing took off, and I missed it. The benefits of trying to buy a house, I guess, because they just get you so mind screwed up, man. Ugh, I can't wait till it's over. Hopefully within this next month it'll be done, because they've got me, yeah. But by the time I noticed this move, we were here, and I'm like, do I jump in? That's always the question, right? Do you just jump in? Look at the momentum. I've done that before, and it never usually ends well for me when I jump into something that's already started. Or maybe I jump in, and I've had this happen too, where we get this big bullish move, I jump in, it starts going my direction, I'm like, oh yeah, that's going to keep going, and then it reverses out of nowhere, and then you're in the negative. So, no. I missed these moves. Couldn't take advantage of them, but that's the beauty of Forex, is just because you missed those, it doesn't mean there isn't other opportunities setting up at the same time, because there was. As these things was, you know, NZD and Aussie were taken off, EuroCAD was setting up. So I jumped in this instead. So I've cut my lot sizes a bit because I want to go for longer. I want to go for longer stretches, right? I want to go for like a week, 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks in one trade and let it go. Because as we saw from this Aussie trade, I sold from here, and I was up pretty good here, and then it pulled back a little bit, and I don't know, I decided to get out and see what the correction was before I entered back in. And I was just unsure of myself, but, you know, we had a drop, we had a correction, we had a running flat, and we had another drop. I mean, plain and simple, I should have just held. And I think we're going to get another correction here, and we're going to get another drop. So I could have just stayed in this first trade and let it go, and I could have done really good. So I'm definitely getting in and out of the market too much. I know, for me anyway. So I'm cutting my lot sizes so that I can hold this, because I notice sometimes, like, you get in something thinking it's going to be the next trade, right? And then it just goes sideways for 2 weeks, a week, and it's not doing anything. But then you notice other pairs are moving, and you're like, crap, right? And you might be in drawdown, and you're like, oh, the only way I can free up this money is by taking this little loss. And then you keep jumping around, and then you jump over to the other pair, it slows down, and then this one moves on you. So it's like, yeah, I'm gonna cut my lot sizes so that I'm not all in. I have money to trade other pairs, and I'm gonna leave this. So what I'm going for, because we had this big drop, which looked like a major reversal here from an area that would make sense for a reversal. We had a break and retest of a long-term trend line. This, I mean, we got 2 days left. That looks like that's going to close as a monthly bearish engulfing. That is a good sign. So we had the first drop, we had a little correction here, another drop, and now we're getting another correction. But you notice we pushed all the way down, taking out swing lows, you know, multiple swing lows. So that to me is structure damage. You know, taking out multiple swing lows, pushing through this area of support, now resistance, and now we're coming up correctively into this zone. So as soon as I saw this, yeah, when we were like here, it started going down, and I put a sell order right above this high, right here. And that's exactly, it came up, filled me, and started going. So this is what, right here, this is what works best for me. If you jump into something that's already going, you risk a violent snapback, you know, that goes against you. And maybe, like in this case, let's say we had this, you know, we had this drop, we had this little correction, right? And then we had this massive move down, right? Major momentum, right? And you enter right here. But then all of a sudden on a lower time frame, right, it starts ripping back up because it's coming back up to retest this, and then possibly continue down. But the second you enter, you notice that all of a sudden you're like, boom, you're in the negative big time. You run the risk of that snapback, and you don't know if if that was it, right? That could have been it. This could have broke through, hit this, and then gone back up. You never know. So yeah, once the move is started, I leave it. What works best for me, honestly, is entering in above highs and below lows on the 4-hour chart. And I've been trying to only look at the 4-hour chart for entries. Otherwise, I look at the daily chart and just try to stay to the daily chart, because if you start zooming down to the 1 hour and the 15-minute chart, it will drive you mental. And it'll look like something, but it's not actually that. You know what I mean? So the daily chart, this looks pretty clear. A drop, correction, drop, correction. I think we're coming down to this weekly support zone minimum. So I'm going from this sell zone to this support zone. Right at these lows, I'm going to take profit. So as of right now, I waited, got in above a high, and let's go look what the drawdown was, because this is the issue, right? Sometimes you get into a trade and then you got this drawdown, and that's when it starts messing with you. So let's see what the drawdown was on this. It was $19.14. That's what my drawdown was on this. That's nothing. I think anyone can handle that. But I got in above a high or below a low, you know, in a sell zone from a higher time frame, and this should look good. So no matter what, sometimes you get, and you know, you could be right, you could be wrong. So if you look at this on the weekly chart, it looks like, you know, this weekly candle had this big wick, and then we got the spinning top, and on the weekly chart it kind of looks like it's gonna go up, and it might, very well could, or this thing just goes. There's another possibility. So yeah, I try to take certain things with a grain of salt, because sometimes it looks like you're going to get a reversal and you don't. You don't know how many 382 pin bar reversal candles I've seen that never held. Like, oh, look at this one right here. Just as I say it. Price came down, hit the support trend line. We got a 382 pin bar candle. Hey, that looks like it's going up, right? Next candle went straight back down, and it looks like we've actually broken through. Yes, we have. Not by much, but it looks like it's about to break through. Retesty and start moving down. So that is one trade that I'm going to hold for a bit. And then other than that, I'm keeping an eye on this guy, GBP USD. Because I do think that potentially the bottom is in right here. I do think this is the bottom for GBP USD. I think this is just going to keep going up. So it looks like we had the reversal here. We had this running flat, another move up, and now we're getting this giant expansion pattern. I think for, you know, another move up. You look at the 6-month chart, it looks like we came down, made a much lower low. We got a pin bar reversal candle, and here we are. I think this is going to go back up like that. Monthly chart, yeah, I mean, we got some room to run here, so I'm waiting for, yeah, I'm going to be watching GBP USD to start pulling its way back down. I've got this zone, which I may add a small position in that zone and see what happens. And if it doesn't hold, it's fine. I'll just make sure that I'm okay with the drawdown till the next zone. And then this is the zone that I'm really interested in buying GBP USD for the long haul, basically, to the upside. And then that could be like a year hold, months, I don't know. But I'm keeping an eye on this. As soon as this thing pulls back down into this zone, I'm going to be probably buying that. But we'll have to see what happens from now till then. But other than that, Aussie, let's look at NZD. NZD. Let's go to the daily. So you can see the trend is down, even though we had this push up, took out a swing high, and now this is starting to look like a bull flag. But to me, this isn't structured damage. Like, it should have come up and taken out like a few highs, maybe. This just isn't convincing enough for me that we've reversed. Possibly, right? Maybe this is a bull flag, and we come down into this zone, which happens to be right here on the monthly chart. It would be the bottom of the flag, below a low, in a zone. Potentially, we might get a bounce from there. I'm thinking we're going to get a bounce from there anyway, but whether it holds or not, I don't know. But regardless, that's where I think we're headed. So any pullback in this week, you know, I'm looking for another drop down. Another drop down for NZD and Aussie. But again, I'm not going to put any pending orders out there. I mean, it started to look like something here. But again, the market's kind of like, I don't know, the market's not really active today. Like, it's not, it's kind of a holiday. Look at NZD. It looks like maybe could be starting some sort of 4-hour flat, maybe. Meanwhile, Aussie is kind of making a flag, it looks like. And this could be potentially what's happening. Maybe we're making a little flag, pulling back up into this sell zone, which is here. You know, it was support, Now we've broken through. And now it's coming up correctively. This might be an area worth taking small risk, maybe, on Aussie. If you can get it in this sell zone, looking for another leg down. Yeah. And you see, at this point, you're not missing the move, really, because the breakout was right here, approximately. I mean, unless you sold from up here, but like the breakout of this pattern was from right here. It pushed down. Now it's coming right back up into this same area for the next leg. So essentially, yeah, you might have missed this, but you're going to be able to get it again and go even further. So yeah, again, it's not worth jumping in. I'm going to wait and see. I'm going to at least wait till tomorrow. I want to see Tuesday kind of reveal itself first. And then, yeah, then we'll make up our minds. But this is pretty much all I'm going for this week. Would be Aussie USD short, NZD USD short after a pullback. EuroCAD, I'm going to leave that. And I'm keeping an eye on GBP USD for when that thing pulls itself back down. The JPYs just keep going and going and going. But look at USD JPY on the 6-month chart. We have this giant 382 pin bar here, and we were tracing back up it right now. So I mean, this thing could come, who knows? Maybe back up to here and then start heading down for a while. Who knows? But yeah, anyways, that's it for this one. Make sure you subscribe. See you later.